Sometimes we're fortunate to get to know what's going on in the lives of people who work with us in making this show happen. One of those individuals is Joe Kingsley, the man behind the product Sore No More, a wonderful topical cream that takes away pain. We have been telling the story about Sore No More on our show for a number of years. Well, Joe shared what is, talk about a good news story, about a program that his Rotary Club in Moab, Utah, is participating in that is making a difference in reducing crime and gang violence in Colombia, South America, a very volatile area in this particular realm of activity up until this point. And similar efforts are realizing the same kinds of results right here in the U.S. Joe told us what was happening.
Actually, the Washington Post has called it the miracle work in Colombia, and it's gotten such recognition that even the Pentagon in our own country has been briefed on it because it's been so remarkable. What has happened is that there is an organization based in Burbank, California called The Way to Happiness, and this nonprofit secular group has a little booklet with 21 ideas of common sense, which if you follow, you can be happy. And this makes, you would think people know this, but sometimes in your culture or the way you grow up, you are oblivious to these elements that create a happy society. So anyway, what has happened is the several 100,000 of these little booklets have been passed out in the native language of Colombia, which is Spanish. And in 18 months, they have gone from one of the most violent countries in South America to the safest in 18 months. So this is phenomenal. Independently, Dr. David Kennedy developed the same kind of precepts independently, and he developed them for the Boston Police Department, and that program has become so successful that 23 other cities here in the United States are also adopting as well those principles. And so what has happened in the Moab Rotary Club, we donated $25 per person to the Colombian Way to Happiness campaign with the idea that we would challenge all the Rotarians around the world to do the same thing. And so theoretically, we will generate over $25 million towards the program of making people aware of, peace can be achieved by working together and being happy. And let me just give you a little example of how it works. Gang members usually are competing against each other for recognition of some kind, and obviously most of the time it's doing something evil or negative. And so this new principle is, fine, go ahead and have your gangs, but in this case, let's organize the gangs to compete against each other in a way that they are doing good. And that was the premise in Boston, and it reached the point where gang members would even ride in police cars to help the patrolman see or detect any activity that would be against the law. And the gangs were competing on who could do the most good. And in Colombia, that's exactly how it's working as well, except on a grander scale, in that the military and the national police are the ones who are giving out the Way to Happiness booklet. And they actually have a school which has about 20 or 30 people in each session who graduate. I don't know how long the class is, but they give a class on how to disseminate and how to interpret and tell the general public the elements of the Way to Happiness.
We'll be hearing more from Joe about this wonderful effort in the weeks ahead. Some amazing things are happening, and there's an opportunity for all of us to get involved. You can make a donation to the Moab Rotary Club, and they will be happy to send you a copy of the booklet, The Way to Happiness. Just make your check out to the Moab Rotary Club, reference on the check, The Way to Happiness, and mail that to Moab Rotary Club, that's M-O-A-B, Moab Rotary Club, Post Office Box 189, Moab, Utah 84532. Moab Rotary Club, P.O. Box 189, Moab, Utah 84532. If you didn't have a chance to write that down, just click on the Way to Happiness banner on the homepage on our show website, and that's at shakerattleradio.com. You'll have the complete address, mailing information right there.